community that help me every week making sure that happens?
The best.
Perfect. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman, and it's my great pleasure and privilege to be here every week with every single one of you, whether you're here live on the day or whether you review the recordings and sometimes again and again later down the track. We appreciate you, and you're highly valued in our community. Now today, I work with Diana Hunter and Gary Knapp, and we have James Hannon and Naomi Joy, and we're very delighted that they always put up their hand to help each and every one of us around the country and probably the world. I know we get our whole region on this call, and sometimes we have people from South Africa and Europe and North America. So a little bit about James and Naomi if you haven't had the pleasure previously. James likes to say he's the story that no teacher wants to tell their students about. He went from getting the lowest grade in his high school year to becoming a national sales manager of a small public company. His passion for understanding the sales process and what makes a person say yes to buying a product fueled his success because he could never understand why people would say no. If they did, he knew he had made a mistake and mistakes could be fixed. James said no to building a Manatech business 3 times, but then one day his mentor, Rod Gilchrist, helped him see what was possible. Although James wasn't an overnight success, he was able to build a large international business starting over 21 years ago. His passion for Manatech is more today than it ever has been. His dream is to help all Manatechers achieve their dreams, and boy, they do that. Naomi started building her business with Manatech 8 years ago. Her background was in teaching, and she also had a traditional retail sales business. Naomi is a mom to 3 beautiful teenage children who are a big reason why she is building this business. She went from struggling to make ends meet and going further into debt to an international business and traveling the world. The products have changed her life as well. One of her favorite things to do is travel to new destinations and experience the cultures there. Naomi is a multi-award winning and one of Manatech Australasia's top business success coaches, well known for her marketing prowess. So if you've never heard James and Naomi on Facebook marketing, you want to get out your notebook and you want to save this video when it's done so that you can review it and deeply learn. They have an edge that most of us haven't seen anywhere else. So James and Naomi, I'm going to go off camera and do as I told everybody else to do. And
before you go, you're not allowed to go. No. You, Diana, and Gary, I get emotional. I know Naomi does as well. I'm emotional already. You have given so much for so many years, and it's helped so many people. And in some respects, we've taken it for granted because it's like it's just always been there. And you've always been there, and your heart, your passion, your love for the associate base for our products really shines through. We love you guys. Real special spot. Anytime.
Yeah. Likewise. It's a really important mission, and we all need to do our best for this great company and technology. So
I agree.
Thanks.
And on that note, we have to follow Sharon's suit. We have to follow Sharon. So the reason we're here is because we have to do what Sharon says, okay? Because she is a beautiful and wonderful example of leadership and leading with purpose, and with heart, not just leading with mind and just hunger. She adds so much more. So Sharon, we love you and we thank you. And we thank you, Diana and Gary. You guys rock. All right, let's do this thing. Now, I'm just going to pin our spotlight, our video. That way you guys can just stay here. Facebook marketing, we know that sometimes for many people, and you're included in this, you want to be able to use your Facebook marketing. You see people out there generating leads, you see them putting up these posts, and they have people commenting, and you hear about these people being recognized for all of these new enrollments, and you wonder, where do they find these people? Because when you may have first started in network marketing or with Manatech, it was always about the people that you knew, and it was always about belly to belly and face to face, and that's what we knew. And that is still relevant today because I still do it. I'm always signing up people that I meet. It's just part of who I am. I can't not. And I think it's because I just love it. I love that whole process of talking to a new person. And I genuinely love and like a person as soon as I meet them, their choice. So in my mind, they are a friend of mine immediately, and then it's their choice to prove me wrong. And if they prove me wrong, I'm generally also that guy that'll forgive once, and I try and forgive all the time, but then it's just it's just not worth it, right? So you want to be, but because I genuinely love and care for a person, and I'm excited to hear their story, and I'm excited to hear what they have to tell, and they are drawn into that. And there is something magical that happens on social media. So what you learned before and what you've been told and taught up until now about connecting with people is so true. And you should do it, because I do it. Naomi does it. The way she launched her business was to a group of her friends, 11 people in a room in Sydney, and many of them are still in her team, either as customers or associates, and a couple of them are even her biggest leaders. So that is all still relevant. But you want to take it to another level, or you want to expand. It's not about taking it to another level, but you want to expand your repertoire of where you find people. And you never want to run out of leads. And that's what social media allows you to do. However, the thing to understand is that it's not something that happens without strategy. It's not something that happens without building a skill. But the thing I want you to know is that everything that we teach and everything that you're going to learn today, and all of the things that we teach, you can learn and you can absolutely apply. It may mean that you have to spend an hour a day for a week, okay, just testing it out, working through the frustration. But if you do that, you will get the result. Facebook has over 2 billion people on it. So obviously you want to be there. And you've got Instagram. I think it's rivaling Facebook and growing rapidly, because it's a totally different platform, and then you've got all of the other ones that are out there as well, LinkedIn and all that sort of stuff. We're not going to get into those. So today, as we talk and as we go through this thing, understand, number one, we care for you. We want you truly to succeed. Because for us to succeed, we need you to succeed. For you to succeed, you need us to succeed. We are connected. We are in a symbiotic relationship. And it means a lot to us that you succeed. And we want you to truly know that. Number two, you can learn. Doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your school level. I failed school and now I have 3 businesses, and each one of those businesses pay me well. I'm unemployable, but my main business is this, and I love it. I love what we do here. Okay, and number 3. So number 1, okay, we've already explained. Number 2 is that you can learn, and number 3, after you've learned, you apply. So you will. What we're going to teach you right now, you're going to find it easy. You're going to go, wow. You're going to love it. And you're going to enjoy this experience and take a breath. The best time to try something is after you have learnt it. So this is the process you're going to do today. You're going to learn it, then you're going to do it, and then you're going to teach it. Okay? Find someone to teach what you're about to learn. Okay? And we're okay for you to say, I learned this on Sharon's call today from Sharon, Gary, and Diana's call today from James and Naomi. And then tomorrow it might be, someone taught me this. And then the next day it might be, I've always done it this way. We're okay with that, okay? So enjoy the process. Now, so as Sharon said, Naomi got started. She's now totally unemployable. She said this to me yesterday when we were working. She goes, I love being unemployable. And she loves this whole process and loves the journey, and she's so creative. I never realized how powerful stories could be until one day Naomi did exactly what she's about to show you and was inundated with leads. And now every time she follows this process, she is inundated with leads. Anything you want to say, or should we get into it?
Yeah, so we're really excited to share this with you guys today. We'll go into our formula in a little bit, but we just want to cover a few basics, because we've got different levels on here. And so we thought we'll just cover a few basics to start off with so that you're not like, what is the story? Where is it? Just to give you that guideline. And then for those of you that have started stories or you've put something up in your story, it's time to be a little bit more intentional about your story. So rather than just throwing whatever up, it's actually time to start to think about being intentional, because stories are a gold mine, like literally a gold mine. Now, it's like Facebook in every area. There is an algorithm with stories as well. So, on your Facebook feed, about algorithms, and that's why we've taught you before about using different ways of marketing and not just advertising, and to make it interesting. We call it the 7 E's. We've told you about that before as well. But you make it interesting. Well, the same applies to your stories. If you're always doing this sales formula, which I'm going to teach, people will turn off, and Facebook will see, oh, people aren't actually interested in their story so much. So you still want to make your stories interesting, and then throw in the secret sales formula, which we're going to show you towards after we show you a few of the basics. So, and how do you make your stories interesting? Well, you can share about your day. People like to see about your day. What are you up to? Where are you going? Some funny stuff, like, and people like that sort of thing. People, they're on Facebook to be entertained, really. So remember that. And for relationships, so they want to see your day. They want to, be entertained. You can put some testimonies in there. There's lots of different things that you can do in your story, but keep them interesting and keep doing them. So put something up, daily if possible, because that's going to help your algorithm in your story. And the algorithm is just Facebook. The more that you put up, the more people are interested in your story. They're going to show your story to more people. And I've definitely seen this when I've done, stories that are seen by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. And then other stories may not be as much. And so you want to really mix up your stories. But seriously, guys, and you see it, James, I get leads every single time I do this formula.
She leans over to me like, I'm working, like the way I look at working, right? And the way that all of you guys probably look at working in this business. Chatting with someone, prospecting someone, trying to find someone that's interested. And Naomi goes, oh, just got another person message me saying I'm interested. Oh, there's another one. Did you see that one there? And so it's understanding exactly. Here's the thing I want you to make clear and really get it, because marketing is a method of we've just got to keep repeating the same message, and that is, there's a couple of things that will make this a success for you. You must be adding new friends all of the time. And I'm not talking about Manatech associates, okay? New friends. They can be in other network marketing companies. They can be people that are looking for a business. Doesn't matter. But your perfect client, whoever they are, you want to be adding those as friends daily. We tell our team 20 friends a day. Okay. You might think, what? Yeah, that's right. Our team are aggressive, okay, in finding friends in a beautiful way. Okay.
And just remember, you think, oh, 20 a day. Well, you've probably known a lot of people over the years. Think about who you went to school with. Think about who you've connected with. And that's where I started. And one of my top leaders was because I did that. Our daughters went to school together. And that's Poppy Curry for all of you that know. But that's where I first started, connected with her on Facebook. So think about that with, all of the people that you've known over the years. Start there and build up. And then as soon as you meet someone offline, connect with them online. So let's go into just the basics of where the stories are. And we're showing you on a laptop now, but, obviously it's on your phone. I tend to do all of my stories on my phone. It just is more convenient, but we'll show you on the laptop. And it's the same on your phone. They're up near the top, so they're very, very prominent for when people first come in. And it tells you create a story, and it's got the plus button, so it's super simple to find it. and start your first story. Now, you can create a photo story. So James is just going to add a photo in there.
You know, I had all this set up, and all of a sudden we set it up beforehand, didn't we? Hold that thought. Where'd it go? That must be it there.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Sorry, guys. I had it all set up to be all quick and easy for you. So
there's a photo, and because it's a past, like if you're telling just your day story, you're letting people know about your day, but he might sort of have a little bit of fun here and put a comment, and that's where you can add text. Now, on here you're only able to add text, but on your phone you can add all sorts of stickers and interesting things. So play around a little bit with that. You can have a lot of fun with your stories and just play a little bit, and it's not going to hurt anyone. But that's where you just start. You just start with getting something up, doing the basic stories, and there you go. So there you go. That's it. That's just getting a basic story going. And then, you saw when we first came up, you can actually do it just a text story. So you could ask a question of people. That always works well, because then once they answer your question, it actually goes straight to Messenger. So you can actually start a conversation with people, and that's a great place to start, just connecting with people, having a little conversation and going from there. So
hold on, another type of green smoothie. All right, that's just me having fun, and so it's a little bit difficult.
It's definitely not the same on on the laptop. So you want to be using your phone. There's a lot more features for you. And then once your story is up, you can see it straight right there. Now, obviously, in James's feed, it's showing what stories that they think that he's going to want to connect with more. And that's why I'm saying, the more that you connect with people, the more that you're in the stories, connecting on stories, Facebook's going to think, oh, these people like each other. And so they'll show those stories. So that's the basic of how to do a story. Now, I took you through Canva. We'll just go to the main Canva. I took you through Canva last week, and if you don't have Canva, it is free to join. There is a paid one, but you don't need it. Only if you're really wanting to do some advanced stuff and get more stock photos. So they've got some beautiful stock photos in there. But basically with Canva, so this is when you want to actually think about a design of a story. So click on create a design and then type in Facebook story. You could do Instagram story. They're basically the same. Okay, so now over on the left, smooth this over. Just get this one out of the way. So on the left, they actually give you all these beautiful templates that you can go through. So I'll just click on here, and they've got different kind of templates, and then some of them actually come in a series. So you see this one, this has a series, and they look quite similar. Now that actually looks quite nice. So you can come in here and create your templates. So just clicking on that, and then it's just a matter, you can remove that photo and then find a photo that you want to use. Now I'll just take. So there's the beginning of your story, and then add the page, and then your next one. Now we're going to take you through how to tell a little bit of a story through your stories, and it's called the sales formula. That's what today's all about. But
can I just show, and for those guys that are out there that are watching, so there's a few fellas on here, you may want, you're looking at this, oh, okay, everything looks so feminine. So Naomi's just going to show you real quick how you can change that background. It's so simple. So you're looking for the flow. So we're going to change. Oh, is that a photo?
Well, that's actually a photo, but you know,
Yeah.
obviously, if you wanted to do more of the masculine kind of looking one, there's plenty in here. That
yeah, like that.
That one.
And then you might make the background maybe a chocolate color or a color that you feel comfortable about with you. So don't get put off, fellas, about when you look at, oh, this looks for just the ladies, or just like, not at all. I want you to know that and you know yourself, you're checking out the stories, so you can make those more masculine colors as well. There's plenty of options there. But you don't even need to look for a masculine template. You can just use the same template and change the background.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nose.
Yeah. So, there's lots of options there for your stories, and you don't have to do this every time. You can just create your templates and then come back and change the wording. And then you can reuse your stories. I reuse my stories all the time. I mean, obviously not straight after each other, but after a few weeks, I'll put another story back up because, that went well, and I know that went well, and I can reuse what I've got there. Now, Canva is probably the easiest one to use. One of the apps that I do use on my phone, for those of you, because I know a lot of people ask me, oh, what app did you use to create that? It's called Mojo. So if you want, it is a paid app. I think it's only $12 or something like that. So it's not very expensive. But if you wanted, for those of you that are looking to do a little bit more advanced on your stories, Mojo is a great app to use as well. But we've showed you the basic, just uploading, and start there if that's where you're at. And we just wanted to show you, okay, then when you're ready to start your templates, then you can create some beautiful templates in Canva and enjoy that. And now we're going to actually take you through the what we call the secret sales formula. And this gets me leads every single time. Now, I'm not sure about you, because it depends on how active you are, how big a following you've built, but you start somewhere. And even if you get one lead, we're really excited to help you get just even that first lead and build from there. And you'll have a lot of fun doing this. So we'll take you to that now.
Trying to get that out of the way. Just hit that little, yeah.
Okay, so this is called the Secret Stories Sales Formula. And like I said, it's helping you with a bit of a formula for your stories, because sometimes it's hard to really work that out, what to put where. And so we wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a guideline. So make sure you take notes, and then this will help you with creating those stories. Now, again, don't get so caught up in creation mode that you don't actually build your business.
We've seen that.
Yeah, we have. But, when you're thinking about your stories, you want to be adding this into them because it will help you get results. And like I said before, don't do this over and over and over. It might be something you do once a week, twice a week, max. You want to be putting some other things and some interesting things, maybe some tips in your stories. Those sorts of things work really well as well. So let's go into that. Now, when we do stories, and I don't know if you've seen stories, you might be looking at someone's story and going, what are they wanting? What are they wanting from me? What does that story even mean? What are they selling? What's it all about? And then you might be doing the same thing, putting up stories, and people don't really know what it is you sell. It's a bit ambiguous and it's not clear to people. And we know with StoryBrand,
if it's not clear, you lose them, okay? As Donald Miller says, if you confuse, you lose. Okay, so what you're wanting to do is make the story clear. Now, the way that you make the story clear and the way that you take it is about taking them on a journey. I want you to think about every movie that you've ever watched, okay? There's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. I didn't even know you had that slide. You're a genius. You knew exactly what I was going to say. Okay, there is a beginning, there is a middle, and an end. However, here's the thing. Most of you are going directly to the end. It's like, for you girls, you've met a great looking guy and you've gone up there and you've had your first conversation, you're talking about marriage, you've found the wedding dress and you're telling him about the ring you want. Okay, there's the end. The guy hasn't had a chance to find the beginning and the middle, he's running off. Or fellas, you found the beautiful girl, you want to marry her, you think she's the perfect one, but you've only seen her once and you haven't spoken to her. You haven't taken her on a coffee, then you haven't taken her for dinner, you haven't taken her anywhere, you haven't done anything, so there's no warm up, and so you fail. What happens most of the time with most of the stories that you're doing out there, there's no beginning, there's no middle, and there's no end. You're in a rush to get to the end. Don't be in a rush. Take a person on a journey. Think about every movie that you've ever watched that you have loved. It has been a journey. That you've met the main character early, and then the protagonist. Then the next thing that happens is you meet the villain, the problem, the challenge. Okay, and then there's got to be turmoil. Okay, so that means in the story, okay, we're going to agitate a little bit, but Naomi's going to get into that.
And Facebook stories or Instagram stories work really well for that, because people, they're sitting in their story and they want to be taken on that journey. So, if you're just at the end and buy my product, oh, what? What's your product about? What does it do? They don't know. So let's have a look at what they also need. So James was talking about that. You need a character. Now, your character is your customer, or your ideal client. So then they also need, what do they want? What do they want? And the problem that they have. You want to identify the problem that they have, because if you're not talking about the problem, they're not listening. And so you want to identify that, because straight away they're going to connect to that. And they're going to meet the guide, which is you. You're going to help them on their journey. All stories, all movies have a guide. You'll look at a movie now and go, oh, that's the guide. So you're the guide for your customer. You're showing them a solution. So this is where you show them a solution and give them a simple plan. Don't make it complicated. I was doing this on social media. I was making it so hard for people to buy from me. But then they didn't really know what to do. So what is the plan? What is the direction? And then they succeed in getting what they want. So you want to show the success of working with you. What is that going to happen? So let's go into that. Now, this is the formula, guys. So write this down. This is your formula. Number one is the hook, and really important in that hook that you grab them in. Otherwise, they're just going to swipe. They're not, if it's a bit dull or not so interesting, they're just going to swipe to the next story and they're going to miss your story altogether. So you want to hook them in with something. Now, oftentimes, that it can be something quite interesting visually, or it could be something that you're using, the wording is quite powerful, that hooks people in. Then you want to go to the problem. So what is the problem that they're having? The solution, okay, the solution that you're offering, the outcome for them. So what's going to be the outcome of, using that product or, starting the business? And then the call to action must have a call to action. I see this mistake a lot, and they're just putting up the stuff and there's no call to action there. And so people are like, oh, nice, okay. And they keep going. So if you don't call them to action, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to get your product. They don't know anything. And so the call to action is a really, really important part of your story, because if you don't do that, there's no end. It's like a movie that kind of finishes, and we've probably seen a couple of those. You feel like, oh, that didn't really finish properly. That's how it is with, a story that doesn't have a call to action. So you definitely want to be having that call to action on the end, so people can respond to that.
Now, on this component, if we look at the hook's really interesting. It's a promise. Now, think about this. So we're looking for what's called an aspirational identity. Who do they want to become, or where are they going? So it might be struggling to lose weight. Yeah, I want to lose weight. It might be looking for more energy. It might be, so whatever where they're going, what they're looking for is what the hook is.
So let's go into a couple of examples here. Now, this is an example that we did on our Rise social media page, or James Hannon page. So the first one, do you struggle with knowing what to post in your Facebook stories? And then there's a little, I need help. Now that's the hook, because like people are like drawn into that. You know, stories are the way of the future, but you don't know what to post to get results. So you know, agitating the problem a bit more. The solution: grab our free Facebook stories cheat sheet. You will have clarity on what to post and remove the outcome. So that's the overwhelm. So that's the outcome there. And then the call to action. Okay, so this is on the end there, you can see a poll. Now, when you're on your phone, you can add a poll to a story. And this is what I highly recommend as your call to action, because it's super simple for people to click yes. Now, just on that, and this is a little tip here, I don't put yes or no. The reason is you're going to get negative nellies, and it actually shows us a percentage, and you don't want that to affect your percentages. So as you saw here, I've just put yes, please, tell me more. Okay, really important. Don't put yes or no, unless it's kind of just a fun story and you know, wanting to ask a question. But yes, please, or tell me more, or more info is a better way to do it, or another way to do it. But using a poll, and they're super simple. They're just, as soon as you open your story, you can actually just see poll in the sticker section. It's super simple to add it, and then you go inside the poll and you can change the wording. Don't be scared to play around with it. Like James said at the beginning, this is just something that you can learn. It's a new skill, but it is learnable. Everything's learnable. I didn't know. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I had no clue about stories. I saw them up there, and I'm like, what is that, or whatever. I didn't even pay attention until I saw the power of what they can do. So let's have a look at this one. So this is about building a business. Do you want to learn how to build a successful online business? Now, this is a story that I actually did in that app called Mojo, for those of you that are interested, but the writing actually comes up gradually. So that also is a little bit of a way to hook people in, because they're wanting to read the next thing that comes along. And then, as you can see, I've kind of put it inside of a phone to make it look a little bit more interesting too. You just don't know where to start, and it feels so overwhelming. Then the solution: join my pop-up business group to learn the key skills you need to know. And then the outcome is have more freedom, be your own boss, and feel more confident building an online business. And then the call to action. Okay, so want to join my free pop-up group to learn how to build an online business. And again, yes, add me. More info, please. Okay, so those are the two options. And obviously, if someone says more info, I'm going to be telling them I'm adding them to the group, you know. But you know that, and then as soon as they click on that, it actually tells you, and you can go in straight from your story and actually message them straight. So it's really a powerful thing, because you're going straight into Messenger, and that's what's really powerful about stories. It's straight, you know, can start the conversation with people.
Oh, so that was me.
Oh. Okay, so this is another example I did with Immunostart, and you know, using that hook, which this was a little bit of a different example. So this is on the Mojo app, and again, only for advanced, but you know, I'm just giving you some different ideas of what you could do. This actually shows up like a text conversation. So it shows up one row at a time, and then the person wrote, and so that is a hook because it's something a little bit interesting again. So people don't always see that and they're like, oh, I'm going to read this. And then what I did in the second one, I actually did a video. Now, I want to really encourage you, if you're a little bit nervous about doing lives or videos on your profile, start in your stories and you can pre-record it. These are only 15 seconds long, so they're not really long, but you can pre-record it, and it's just, think about the formula here. So I'm just telling the problem, and then I'm writing a little bit of text so that if someone's at work, which they tend to be at work, they can read the text as well. But some people really like, and I've noticed when I do the videos, they really connect in with those. And so, you know, just sharing a little bit there. And then the next video, I always do weird faces anyway. If you've ever seen my videos, I'm always doing some sort of weird face. And then the solution, the outcome, and then obviously the call to action about for the end. And sometimes I actually put in send me a link. So, you know, some people are just wanting to buy it. They don't want to fuss around. They're ready to buy it. Let them buy it. Don't oversell at that point. If someone's ready for the link, because they're used to online, everyone's used to online, especially after COVID. They're used to it. They're used to getting a link and buying it. You know, so if someone wants to buy it, let them buy it. But if they want more info, then obviously you can tell more info there. And then if you want to do a shorter version, because sometimes you just want to do something quick, and I do this as well quite often as well, because I like to test things out. What's working better for my audience, and so this is just the simple version. So the problem, and you can still hook them in there. So something a little bit interesting, or, you know, a problem that's going to really hook them in, the solution, and then the call to action. So, you know, you can shorten that up, and that works really well as well. So hopefully that's given you some ideas for your stories on how to actually do a sales story, and how to, you know, take people on that journey to buying from you, or just to starting that connection. Because really the purpose of the story is just to get that first lead and get people interested, and then you take it from there in how you follow people up with online. But, you know, it's a really powerful thing to do, and I hope that, you know, you guys start working and using stories to get those leads. Because seriously, guys, even if you don't want to use your Facebook profile that much for, you know, for building your business, that's okay. But if you start to use your stories a bit more, you will get great results that way. And it really is a powerful thing to be doing. Did you want to add anything?
No. I think though, just really start using it. It works. And it works all of the time, even for a guy like me who is not as creative as Naomi is with stories. I do basic stuff, and I do get leads. I get people asking. But one of the interesting things that I do get is that I may not get people all asking from my story, but I get people who come to me sometime and say, I've been following you. I've been seeing what you're doing. And of the last month for me, I've actually been very quiet on social media. We've just been so busy. The team, you know, the team is growing, which requires a lot more effort there. But, you know, no excuse, but it is what it is. But people are following you. So Sharon,
if you've got any questions, I saw someone at the point of someone wanting a bottle of Immunosite. Do you register them or sell that's up to you, Irene, how you sell a product to somebody. You know, like I said, if you send them your Manatech link, you know, for those that want to buy it. But a lot of times people actually want to get on a call. And that is definitely the better way. You are going to get better results with when you get on a call with somebody and that connection, we do a lot on Facebook, but you want to be taking that offline as quickly as possible, because that's the connection, and that's what network marketing is all about, is that connection and getting on the call, getting them on an order, because that's the goal as well. If you want to really build your residual income, you don't just want to sell one product, you want to get them on an order. But this is just that way of getting that lead and getting them connected to what you're asking.
So if you wanted that, that was it there.
I think it was the business one. Was it the one before?
I'm not sure. Was it that one, Bronwyn?
And that, so the call to action on that one was actually joining a group. So that's another thing that you can do. If you've got your group set up, you can take them through that journey, and it might be showing them what's in the group. Are you struggling to find healthy recipes to cook? So I'm not sure what groups that you have. If you don't have groups, don't worry, but some of you I do know have groups. So you can actually take them through that journey to join a group, which is also a really great thing to be doing, because you do want to, if they don't buy from you, you do want a way to stay in contact still. So and it might be your free giveaway. So I talked about this a few weeks ago, or maybe a month, about that, having a little free giveaway, which might be the Manatech, the coffee recipe book that they've just put out. It might be the Manatech recipe book that comes with True Health, that comes in PDF form. So, it may be just, struggling to know what healthy recipes to cook. And so you can take them through that journey. But I do recommend then getting them into some sort of group, or keeping them in your, what we call the funnel.
So Sharon, that's us. And we're so glad we can help. We have got, so any questions, Sharon?
There are a few more questions in the chat. There's some comments as well, like, thank you. We didn't realize we could do multiple pages. Janelle saying that when she posts a story on Instagram and share it automatically to Facebook, she gets about 100 less views per story. Do you want to comment on that?
Well, yeah, I think Instagram has a different size than Facebook does. So I think maybe not. However, even though the two are connected, I think they penalize. So just be aware of that. We don't really understand it. There's a thing on Instagram called ghosting, and it's becoming more and more. But I think what's happening with Instagram is they're wanting people to start to buy and spend a lot more money. Okay, so while you can, everyone, and while organic on Instagram is still pretty good, and while Facebook stories are like they are, I'd be building your audience as fast as you possibly can right now, like getting a lot of new friends that are not Manatech associates, and creating stories quickly, because I foresee in the future that there'll be a lot of ads in Facebook stories. There's only one reason Facebook invested so much money in the stories, and it's not just to keep you there, it's to make money.
Fantastic. I'm sure that was very helpful. And then there's another one about being bad for business if you have to be off your profile for a while. Like, how important is that consistency be?
Consistency is really important for the algorithm, but if you're off your profile for a while for whatever reason, people can shame themselves so much or feel like using the word bad. It's okay, life happens, and sometimes I don't post as regularly, and that's just okay. Just let yourself be okay with that, and don't put so much pressure on yourself that you have to do this and you have to do that. It's just part of your business. But if you can be as regular as possible, you're going to get better interaction, because Facebook likes that and Instagram likes that consistency in your business. There's another one here. Your story post 100%. No. So Irene, yep, absolutely. It's about mixing things up with coffees and things like that, and yeah, all of those everyday things. How do you go? Okay, so but building 20 friends a day, it's like I said, think about everybody that you've connected with. Think about everyone that you meet now. Oh, hey, I've really enjoyed our conversation. Would it be okay if I sent you a friend request on Facebook? Simple as that. You're not selling to them or anything. And other things could be, groups that you have a hobby. You've got a hobby. Just say you're a knitter and you're in the knitting group. You start to connect with people in there and form friendships. So you don't go out randomly, but you can start to connect with people and form friendships.
Pauline, it depends on what you're wanting to do. Like if you're doing a local event, then you just post a local. But generally, majority of the stuff you do, just going to have to leave it open, leave it public. Because people that are following you that might be in a different town, state, country, they're looking at you and they're interested. And so because they're interested, thinking, okay, I wonder what they do. I might reach out to them, or when you do a call to action that speaks to them, they may speak to you. So don't make everything private or make everything local. Yeah.
I mean, I prefer people in Australia. That's just my preference. I found it hard to build in other countries, but it's up to you if you're wanting to particularly target another country.
Oh, sorry, I thought she was saying post just to the world, just okay, like public or private kind of.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Well done, Stephen. That's awesome.
Beautiful.
Well done, guys.
Well, I have to get going. I've got to get on another one. It's getting crazy right now. So I might leave.
Yep.
Bye, everyone.
If anyone has any other questions, otherwise, we're good to go.
I think it's good. I think they'll be waiting for me to upload this so they can watch it again. So James and Naomi, God bless you. Thank you so very much. And next week we're focused on M5N, the other part of our mission. So, or maybe it's the foundation of our mission, possibly. There's something for everyone. So everyone have a wonderful weekend. And I will be uploading this, well, it depends on my bandwidth. So usually by Monday, sometimes I can get it up if I remember before I go to bed. Too much information, I'm sure. So have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for supporting the calls. We appreciate you.